I see we're talking bullying in the workplace. Tell me more.
Yes, so this Heart Matters podcast is a month in the making.
Yeah.
You'd remember in October, we ran a story of Executive Director for Safety and Security, Vincent Botto, who's embroiled in a legal spat against two traffic cops who accused him of bullying and harassment while they were issuing a fine to a taxi driver. He then hit back, saying they're defaming him, so he's suing them for defamation. Since then, several officials from the city of Cape Town have reached out to us, right? They've spoken to us on condition of anonymity, so we've had to disguise their identities to protect our sources and their safety. In this, they tell us of severe bullying, harassment, undermining in the workplace. And they're saying it comes from the top. They're mentioning two people. They're mentioning JP Smith, the Safety and Security MACO member, as well as Petrus Robbie Roberts, who you'd remember came from SAPS way back then. So JP Smith has it back, saying this is absolute nonsense. These are underperforming dissidents, and that the city's top brass have a responsibility to keep their top officials to account. So we've got both sides of the story. It's up to the listeners then to make up their minds. It's going to be a two-part Heart Matters this week, today and tomorrow, because some other things have come up, something that to these officials in the city of Cape Town are red flags. One of them being that Hout Bay has its own jock. And they're saying it's because two senior City of Cape Town officials live in the Hout Bay area. So more focus is placed there, and the questions are arising
and
about...
a jock is?
A Joint Operations Centre.
JOC, yeah?
And they're questioning why there aren't any of these in partnership also with private security companies in areas that need it most. So that's what's on our final Heart Matters for 2024. We'll be back with more Heart Matters in the beginning of January.
All right, there we go. That's Leanne. She and the team doing sterling work, just uncovering some really, really big stories. At some point, I think we'll haul her into studio late in the week and just look back at the news year that was, because, I mean, there was just lots, absolutely lots that I think the team have managed to get their teeth sunk into and can celebrate as having broken. So that conversation coming up a little bit later this week. Our news team hard at it, ruffling feathers, getting social media in a tiz. Two-part series of Heart Matters kicked off yesterday, and it was talking about workplace bullying, and the example was within the corridors of power within the Cape Town municipal structure. News editor Leanne Johnson back with us. You had a busy day yesterday.
That's an understatement. Look, we're going hard. We're burning the midnight oil, but someone's got to do it,
there
right?
We go.
So today's the second part.
Yeah, you were in yesterday. That was part one.
Yes.
But wait, there's more. Today it's part two. What's going on?
Today's the second part. And you know what I neglected to add yesterday morning was that, number one, I told you this was a month in the making, right? We started working on it in late October. Then once we sent our inquiry to the city of Cape Town, hours later it was leaked. So Shamila's media inquiry to the city's media center became one of those forwarded many times WhatsApps.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
And somehow ended in the hands of the tabloids.
Right.
So last week, this story written from her inquiry was in the tabloids. Yet we are sitting with all the documents, etc.
Yes.
Fast forward to today. We have part two of Heart Matters. And I must tell you that after the airing of Heart Matters yesterday, our phones have been going bonkers. At least 4 more whistleblowers have reached out to us. One at 11 o'clock last night said he found my number somewhere. Look, I have been going through the same thing. I'm on chronic medication because of them. I've had to seek mental health because of the harassment and bullying. So there are more and more people now feeling empowered and emboldened to come forward. Number one. So today's Heart Matters speaks to a few issues. One being that whistleblowers who have come forward to us say that it seems that the taxi industry is targeted by the city, that there are quotas that traffic cops are given of how many taxi vehicles to impound a day.
Okay.
That taxi drivers are being fined when their passengers are not wearing seatbelts, but by law, the passenger needs to be fined for not wearing a seatbelt. Then just further issues of harassment and bullying, etc. The other one is the Hout Bay Joint Operations Centre that houses law enforcement, traffic, metro police, and it's run from a private security company in Hout Bay. So JP Smith is saying that on the taxis and the impoundments, etc., this is performance targets. Everyone has performance targets that they need to work towards, right? On the Hout Bay Joint Operations Centre, he is saying that, look, this all forms part of the city's bid to work jointly with other stakeholders, including private security companies, and that the structure that they're working from, as well as the camera surveillance services, were offered to the city. That's what he's saying. He's also still adamant that this is politically motivated, albeit we've not spoken to one politician. We've not. And whether or not these whistleblowers are connected, look, we don't really know. They've reached out to us. From our investigations we've done, not all of them are related or interconnected, you know. So, yeah, that's part 2 today at 12.
All right, there we go. And it's a very important journalistic principle. Audi alterem partem, I think, is the Latin. Let both sides be heard, which is so vital in a story like this. You know, there are the allegations, and the allegations are made against certain individuals or entities, organizations. They're given the full right to reply, and it's ultimately up to civil society then to try and digest as much of this information and make up their minds. Our job is to tell the story. Absolutely. And that's what's going to happen again at 12 o'clock today. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
There we go. They've sunk their teeth into this story. It really, really is causing a stir, particularly on the socials.